What's up, tea people? It's Denny.
And this is James from tdb.org, bringing you episode number 291.
There's some fungus among us.
Yeah.
Shout out to Incubus.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
It's not the first time you made that reference on the show. Long-time listeners.
Yeah,
that was a message in episode number 173
in 1845. Episode number 400.
Yeah, with Abraham Lincoln.
So, we have some Hunan yellow
flowers.
Golden flowers. Incredibly scented and powerfully intoxicating brew going on here.
Yeah, and before the episode, we were smelling some of the teas that we're going to bring on the show. And this one has a strong aroma.
Wow, it's so strong. It's so cool, though. Yeah, I think people, especially whiskey drinkers, would love getting into this. I'm excited. Yeah, just really, really smoky, really earthy.
Yeah.
I'm excited to drink this.
So this is a Fujuan, but it also smells pretty smoky. And honestly, I've had probably like 15 to 20 Fujuans. Definitely the smokiest one I've ever had. Other types of Heicha tend to get more smoky. And I'm going to give this 2 rinses just so we can get to the good stuff faster.
Yeah, nice, beautiful color. It's funny how you're drinking this tea and you can visibly see the growth on it, and yet at the same time it pours clean.
Yep.
Beautiful, very green. It's one of those. Oh, and it has just such a unique, really barley. There's a wonderful smoky sweetness. There's a barley, oaty grassiness that's not like green grass, but like finished wheat, and it smells really good. I'm excited to drink this.
This is not one where you're like, it's smoky. It's more like, it's smoky.
Yeah,
like in a good way.
Yeah, it has a lot of character on the nose. So I think that this is already maybe not passing the mom test.
Probably not. Yeah. Don't show your mom the visual of these leaves before you brew it. Just brew it for her.
Yeah.
And then you can tell her afterwards.
Does this have caffeine? Shout out to all the moms out there. That was not a derogatory reference. I love you, moms. Cheers.
Cheers to all the moms.
There's a little, almost like a hint of a roastiness, which is kind of interesting. The thing about these teas, especially these funkier, more interesting flavored, aromatics, is they always surprise me in the taste. I will say, I feel like the more pungent and aromatic, the more likely that there's going to be a discrepancy in the cup. Not in a bad way. Just it's an interesting note. There's this whole different aspect of the tea. With the aroma.
It's not quite as intense as the aroma would indicate. My experience with this tea, and I ordered a few Fujuan samples from Scott, and this was, I think, the most interesting of them, partly because of the smokiness, is that it takes a little bit to get going.
Right.
So I think we'll see the color deep in here. I reboiled the water, and this is our 4th pour, considering we did 2 rinses on it.
Right, and we actually just both probably drank only half of our first steeping there.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get a taste for it. It's light, the core and viscosity is quite light, really oranging up, so you can definitely tell that we're getting into more deep...
oranging, I like that.
Flavors.
Yeah.
Thank you, it's a technical term.
Is it?
No. Absolutely not.
I think it's an intuitive term.
You can see some oils on the top there.
Keep this going.
Yeah, definitely. Fairly big leaves, actually.
Yeah, and you can see it comes in, a lot of these are compressed into very big bricks. This one is also a big brick. I forget how big it is.
Yeah.
It might be a kilogram or something.
It seemed pretty hard pressed, too.
Somewhat, I would say. Yeah, it's definitely possible to break it up a bit with your hands, but...
It has such a strong aroma. I think if that is an indication of the color, we probably are getting into the flavors here. So
I think so, yeah.
I'm gonna take a look at it and see what's going on in there. Surprisingly green. What year is this?
2017.
Okay.
Still kind of this pungy, pine, smoky gasoline coming off of that.
Yeah, it's deeply earthy and.
If you ever had barbecue at a gas station, it's kind of what this tea smells like.
I think it has a very dry atmosphere, sort of aromatic. It just kind of smells like the desert, and yum. Here we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay.
It's surprisingly, like, not super potent. You know? Not that it won't be. There's like a lingering smokiness, and it's a really pleasant, but very well balanced aspect of this tea. It's definitely not too smoky at all.
I think it's a really sweet smokiness to it. Whereas like Pu'er, sometimes you'll get like a really bitter smokiness that can be a little bit difficult to take in. I think this one's a lot easier to enjoy.
You know what, this tea really, I think, if I had to describe it in one word, I would say mezcal, which is this sort of earthy, sweet, whiskey, spicy liquor from Mexico. And it has all of those elements in this tea.
Interesting.
There's a little bit of sweetness there too, and even a little bit of, you can kind of imagine the floral notes. And yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, and I've served this tea to a couple of people, and comparing it to food is definitely something that a few of them have done, so pretty interesting.
Definitely getting a little bit more potent and a little bit more of a residual bite, I'd say. Yeah. How do other people like this, James?
I think it has mixed reviews overall.
Sure.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I don't think I think it's hard to have, unless you're really put off by the smell, to have like a super offensive reaction to it, like Pu'er sometimes can.
Right.
But most people are like, oh, it's kind of interesting. It's like, I haven't tasted this in tea before.
Right.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh. It's almost tasting more roasted to me. I'm getting more elements of roasted oolong flavors now. It's still really well balanced. I would say that it doesn't have a lot of high notes, especially for a tea this young. So I wouldn't expect those to really come in. I mean, this has more of a cozy feel already, and it's only a year old. So
yeah.
It's good. To
me, this feels like a pretty good autumn tea. We're drinking this in November. It's just sort of like a really sweet, I don't know, like mouth-watering aftertaste being left behind. Good boldness, but like actually pretty difficult to overbrew. I'm hitting this reasonably hard. Yeah. We're just going to do one last steep here. So
definitely potent. Yeah. I mean, I'm experiencing that residual tannic mouth pucker a little bit. But you're right, it does seem to take a boil really well. You're not holding back at all.
No.
It has that sense of Pu'er potency and depth and all of those characteristic elements of Pu'er that I think a lot of folks like beyond the taste. The full body feel, the alertness, just the intensity, frankly.
Yeah.
And look at that color. So going to the moon today, huh?
Yeah.
Au revoir. See you next time.
Oh, we're not going halfway to the moon. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Who wants to? I don't know. Really good. Potent. I can see why people have mixed reactions to this. Even if they can recognize, like, oh, it's balanced, or it's smooth, or it's interesting, but it might not be for me.
Yeah.
It just is potent and kind of an interesting characteristic, or balance of different characteristics. Really green. Yeah,
as we brewed out the leaves, sometimes it can be interesting to sort of inspect the wet leaves after they brewed out for a while, and the leaves are definitely greening up if we're going to verbify all these things. Greening, oranging, redding.
Oof. Really, really potent. Really, just still really strong aroma. I feel like this tea is going to continue to evolve a lot. This is kind of one of those teas to hold on to.
Definitely could go for a few more. Cheers.
Cheers. It has elements of really, really deep elements that remind me of actually yerba mate.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like a very sort of earthy
Huh.
grassiness to
I
it.
could
And-
definitely get that.
Yeah.
That's good call there.
Yeah, and kind of, yeah, elements of kind of like dry, dusty hay, and it's interesting. But sweetness, it's like
Yeah.
I can again. Are these my favorite flavors to go to every day of the week?
No.
No, not for me. But is this tea fascinating and interesting to drink? Absolutely.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
feels very rustic to me. Sort of like this taste. It's like you talking about those images. I can just imagine being in a barn, drinking this tea. And I don't think I've ever had tea in a barn, but
Next time.
yeah.
TDP Travels miniseries. It's good. So we're describing it in all these like interesting, weird ways, but it's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta wrap this up because we're gonna get cut off by the camera. Shout out to Scott. Check this out. Yunnan Sourcing.
Yeah.
If you want to pick this up, James.
Yep, I think it's a kind of interesting, different Fujuan brick. The
Yeah.
Gaoma are Shi Liang Baidan Fujuan from Hunan. That's a lot of words.
That is a lot of words.
So check it out. Buy a 50-gram sample like I did. Thank you, Scott, for sourcing it. And hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on social, and we'll see you all next time.
See ya.